on the college campus front, we've had so much craziness, and you guys have been breaking all sorts of news of the free press. You got the Custodian, and now there's more than one custodian who was held hostage by the lunatics at Columbia.
Yes, the one that came out today. There were two more that our wonderful reporter Francesca Block has been breaking this story. First, she got Mario Torres, who was in that viral photo, and it's the perfect encapsulation of this movement, because on the one hand, you have a 40-year-old self-described anarchist that lives in a brownstone in Brooklyn, or at least owns it, worth more than $2 million. His parents own one worth more than $3 million, up against a custodian who has 2 children, aged 5 and 7, and the average janitor at Columbia, or average facilities worker, makes $19 an hour. Right? Who's the victim in this photo? And it's kind of a really, really interesting Rorschach test. So we got him on the record on this really, really moving interview, I felt, where he talks about being scared to go back on campus because the mob is still there at the gates, and now being fearful that Columbia is going to retaliate against him. And today, 2 more spoke on the record to Franny, our reporter, and one of them said that he was scared he was going to get killed in the building.
And this is in Hamilton Hall.
Exactly.
We have a little bit of Mario. Let me run this soundbite. We have it, just an excerpt. Let's watch.
I was on the 3rd floor. Initially, I thought it was about five or six students, and I was just trying to kick them out. When I look back, they just multiplied. They came from, both sides of the staircases. They came through the elevators, and they were just rushing. You see people with bags with duct tape and zip ties, and then they put tables and chairs to block it. Like, they stuffed that elevator. I was freaking out. How was I going to get out? Through the window? No. It's just scary just thinking that you're locked in with a bunch of crazies. We don't expect to go to the work and get swarmed by an angry mob with rope and duct tape and masks and gloves.
Wow. And this is unlike on January 6th, where we saw the left super empathetic for the cops who had to deal with that mob. And I felt it too. They're not speaking out about Mario. They don't care. This is not a problem. They're on the side of the mob.
I mean, and just before I came on here, I was looking at, there's like a internal Columbia app. It's almost like Slack, but for Columbia
Don't
students.
Get me started.
I won't. You have to have a .edu email to be on it. So it's like an internal Columbia conversation, and they shared this story. And you know what the response is on the part of the students I was seeing?
What is it?
The Columbia custodians need to grow a pair.
No.
Yeah.
He's
so
unarmed.
How's that for worker solidarity and all of the other things that the kids in the encampment pay lip
This guy
service to?
is not even a cop. I wouldn't like it any better if he were, but I certainly don't like it when he's unarmed. And he's not lying about all the ropes, and we've seen them request more on of those same supplies.
Right.
This is not a mostly peaceful crowd. Well, I don't know what they were doing behind closed doors, but I certainly wouldn't want to have to fight them one-handed like this guy did.
Right. And it's just, again, I just think it's such a powerful litmus test of, the 40-year-old anarchist who seems to be, LARPing as some kind of like campus jihadi versus a guy who's trying to provide for his family. And as he just said in that video, like, he doesn't expect to go to work at an Ivy League school and get swarmed by organized protesters who are barricading themselves in buildings, who broke glass to get in there and are shouting in praise of the Intifada.
Right. And beyond. I mean, death to America. And so we've heard all of it. If I were that guy, I would sue Columbia University to within an inch of its life.
So I think the news broke. I think the New York Post broke this story. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I've really lost track of time since October 7th, I have to say. But they are organizing a lawsuit, the Union of Custodial Workers at Columbia. So that'll be very interesting to see how it plays out.
I hope it's a
guys,
beaut.
Violence and the threat of violence, and like we were talking about earlier, the frisson of violence is part of what this movement wants to bring. So the fact that he was scared, of course the Columbia chat isn't apologetic about that. That's sort of proof that they're doing a good job. Mm-hmm. They're not bringing zip ties in for peace. Duct tape, rope, and zip ties.
Maybe they just broke some of those tables, Nellie, and they want to, put them back together.
They're saying they want violent armed revolution. They're saying intifada. They're saying,
and they're saying don't feel bad about it. We actually read them say, we need more violence. We shouldn't feel bad about it. This is part of the revolution.
And also, whatever the cause du jour is becomes the only priority. So, like, whatever was the old cause of labor rights or whatever is washed away. Now it's just this pro-war movement, whatever you want to call it, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas. It's just whatever's good for that. So you see this in the way that like Zadie Smith is now, she wrote a somewhat complex, really interesting essay about the movement. And she's had been sort of celebrated on the left as an amazing writer, Black woman, like kind of held up as an aspirational figure. I still think of her as that. And now she's completely thrown to the side and hated because she goes against the most extremes on this one movement. So whatever the cause du jour is becomes the only cause. And you see it time and again. You see it with defund the police. You see it with each of these movements. It becomes the only thing.
I think the other thing that's really important to pay attention to is just this kind of breathtaking double standard, right? When we see the people marching in Charlottesville with tiki torches, shouting, "Jews will not replace us." Everyone respectable, everyone in intelligent society in the chattering class says, take them seriously. Take what they say seriously. And by the way, I agree with that. We should take them seriously. That was the mentality that drove the neo-Nazi into Tree of Life, the synagogue where I became bat mitzvah, and murder 11 of my Jewish neighbors in Pittsburgh. But by the exact same logic, take what these young revolutionaries, I don't know what else to call them, are saying seriously. They are saying globalize the intifada.
You know what's hard about it is there's so much video of them being absolutely pathetic. You know, I mean, truly, like the guy with the midriff exposed the other day and his little,
of course,
as Joseph Massey called him, Osama non-binary.
Right. I mean,
it's hard to feel threatened by that.
Well, when they're doing like their interpretive dancing and talking about their gluten-free bread and like how they need their melatonin gummings. Yes. But there is and let's just say, let's call it 80% of the people that are going along with it are there for the vibes. They're there for the fun. They're there to like sleep in a tent one night and go along with the cause.
Selma envy.
For sure. But for the hardcore group, and I include a lot of professors in this group that are shouting from the river to the sea, that are shouting, globalize the intifada. What do they think intifada means? I lived in Israel in 2002.
Oh, wow.
During the intifada. I know what that means.
Yeah.
That's not vibes.
No, I remember watching Jennifer Griffin reporting from Israel through all of that. It was terrifying. She was there with her flak helmet on and the flak jacket, and the reports were more and more dire by the day.
It's just,
they have no knowledge of the history.
Honest, it's like they're calling for war.
But some of the people who repeat that slogan are clueless. Strong. But there are, what did you say?
Midriff guy looked very strong.
No, he did not.
No, that guy
That
could
is
fight.
your compromised state of pregnancy talking. You would be an easy target at the moment.
I wouldn't want to take him on.
Osama non-binary is not going to hurt anyone. He is the one who's going to get hurt as soon as he gets home to his friends in Palestine and Hamas.
Some people, I agree with you, Megyn, just to give them the benefit of the doubt. Some people are saying it in the same way that they said every other thing, other current thing. For sure. They have the best slogans ever. Let's be real. But some of the people saying it know exactly what they mean. And there is no foreign word in Jews go back to Poland or you're all inbred. Those are some of the things that Columbia...
Death to the Jews seems on the nose.
We don't need a debate about what that means, right? That means what it means. And somehow there is an unbelievable pass being given to the students saying those things as if they are righteous. If you said them about, I'll give you just one example because I really this example killed me. Do you remember in 2021, there was a Native American student at Yale named Trent Colbert who invited his fellow students to a Constitution Day bash in his trap house. Okay? This was his sin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I do remember.
Do you remember this?
Yeah. Amy Chua got involved in this.
Within 12 hours, he had been
involved in everything.
She's involved. She's the best.
She gets involved.
We love her.
I love her.
Within 12 hours, he had been hauled into a disciplinary meeting. I believe the dean of Yale had put out a statement. He was pressured to for trap house in an email after 12 hours.
For using the term.
For using the term.
Yeah. That was his sin.
And now, where are all of the people
Right.
who had all
How
of
is
their
Death to the Jews
sensitivity
just fine?
sessions about like offensive Halloween costumes and bad tacos?
Yeah. Did you know Fast Growing Trees is the biggest online nursery in the US with more than 10,000 different kinds of plants and over 2 million happy customers? And now you can grow lemon, avocado, olive, or fig trees. They have houseplants too. Fast Growing Trees makes it easy to order online and ship directly to your door in 1 to 2 days. You can even find the perfect fit for your specific climate, location, and needs. Whether you are looking to add some privacy, some shade, or some natural beauty to your yard, Fast Growing Trees is ready to help you make the right selection from their nursery. And right now, they have some of the best deals online, like up to half off on select plants and more. Viewers get an additional 15% off when using the code Megyn at checkout. That's an additional 15% off at fastgrowingtrees.com using the code MEGYN at checkout. Go to fastgrowingtrees.com, code Megyn. This offer won't last forever. Tell them I sent you. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.